So, um, first, Steven, thanks for taking some time to meet with me here this morning. I certainly do appreciate it. Um, Give us a quick rundown of, your business, where you're located, how long you've been selling real estate, um, amount of business you do, kind of the quick 30-second run through, and we'll dive into a little bit about why you picked Chime.
Absolutely. I've been in real estate, and it always feels weird when I say it, but around 27 years. So I think I started when I was just a baby. And I originally started in Canada and moved to the US at the end of 2008. Got my broker's license in 2009. So it's funny, I started in a recession in Canada when I first started, and I moved here during a recession. So there's something about recessions wherever I move.
Oh boy.
And right, so don't follow me if I move again. It might be a recession. But I feel very fortunate. I've helped around 2,000 families in my career, buy or sell properties. I've had the pleasure of working for developers, builders. I've been an investor. I sell regular real estate. I have a small team. We do production, somewhere 40 some odd units a year. It's just myself and my licensed assistant. And now I've brought on one other person, and we're continuing to grow. So, my business can't grow without some sort of certainty or systems. And that was one of the reasons, I chose Chime. You guys are always growing and implementing new ideas. Like it's almost hard for me to keep up with the new releases that you have of all the different things that you layer in, because you guys are being so proactive in the marketplace. And for me, I'm not a huge technology person, and I know Chime has made it extremely easy, like using the app on my phone. And also when I go through and I make my calls in a day and I see all my to-dos, just having a bearing has helped me just make my business so much easier. And a couple people back in Canada, my brother, when I moved from Canada, he got into real estate. So he's been in real estate now for it's probably like 18 years. And he's on my Chime account. And there's also a different friend that's also in real estate, an old family friend of mine, but my brother works with him, and he's on my account, because I have a platform account where I have other people. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool for them to start to see how they're using it as well, and all of their follow-ups. But I'm telling you, man, the transparency of what Chime has allowed me to do, and then also all the system integrations that you guys keep layering in. And I've worked with a lot of the big ones out there, and the brokers that I work for currently, eXp Realty, they have a different platform, and I've never used it because I didn't want to get off Chime, and that system is provided to me at no cost. And I've chosen not to use it because of how robust Chime is and how used to Chime I've become.
That really speaks volumes. So how did you, from going back to the beginning, how did you hear about Chime?
There was, I think there was an event that was going on, and I had heard about you guys. I was looking for a different platform, and then I reached out to you guys and got a demo. And I was pretty impressed with the demo and how robust the system was at that time. I think it's 2.5 years now. And then I just got on to the service, and it was super easy. It was, what I would call relatively affordable to some of the other ones that are out there and charge a lot more that do less. Mm. And the one before that, which I was massively disappointed with. Am I allowed to say names of systems?
It's not going to hurt my feelings as long because you're saying you're not using them anymore, right? You're using us.
So, I mean, I went to Real Geeks, and I was just like, wow, this, I don't even like going into my CRM. And so I needed a place to go. And our office was using Boomtown, but I couldn't be the admin, unless I owned the platform. So I couldn't do online lead gen. I couldn't do any of that. and they were extremely expensive, and they weren't really working on any scaled down versions. So by necessity, I started looking elsewhere, and then came across Chime. And more than just what Chime is as a system or a platform, it's like, I feel super grateful that I was able to speak at Inman, on behalf of Chime. Like, you guys are looking to promote within, like, your own users, to elevate them, or people that are having successes. Like, also, I feel very fortunate, before everything started to shut down with what's going on in the current environment, I got to go lead a mastermind on behalf of Chime in Arizona, and I live in San Diego. And there's more of like this, it's almost more like a family than it is just a business. And Chime listens. Other CRMs I haven't seen listen. And Chime listens, and you guys implement. And I know now, finally, after forever, you guys have a triple line dialer. Took a while, but
we did it. That was a big endeavor. That's a big endeavor.
Right? But
that's not easy.
You guys listen, and a lot of corporations provide instead of listen and incorporate.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's definitely, I don't use the system in its full, robust fashion.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have so many tools, but I've made it work where it just allows me to have a transparent day. My notes, my follow-up, the fact that when I make my calls on my dialer, it only gives me so much time after I'm done to make my notes, so it makes me efficient. At first I was like, damn it, and I'd have to go back, but it sure made me efficient, so that Chime kept pushing me forward to get my calls done and my notes updated effectively.
Building a community at Chime is a really important aspect of us building our business, right? Just like in real estate, having your own community, your sphere of influence, and your own network is really important, right? So even though we're a tech company and not a real estate company, we try to operate under that same mindset, right? When your clients talk, you listen. When our clients talk, we listen.
Yeah.
And so that, I mean, that's really great. I appreciate you saying a lot of that. What are some of the specific impacts you've seen in your business from Chime?
Just knowing what my day looks like, just having transparency. I think that's the easiest thing. I've been leading a coaching group now for about a month and a half, and writing out a 90-day program is what I needed to do, because when I first started motivating these people, and it was literally to motivate myself, because when the pandemic hit, I'm probably not the only one that started staying up till 2 a.m. and getting up at 10, and like the world's over, and real estate wasn't deemed a necessary business. And I was like, okay, now what? And after a few weeks of that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. The world hasn't imploded. I don't know what's going to happen, but am I going to sit on the sideline, or am I going to be a player? And I got a group of people together, and I said, I'm going to coach you. And for the first few weeks of that, I didn't really have a plan. It was just, I'm going to be on the phone. I'm going to motivate you. Let's talk about daily activities. And then after a couple of weeks of that, I was like, this isn't sustainable. There has to be transparency. You have to see where you're going. And so then I wrote out a 90-day plan, and now every single day I know exactly what I'm doing. And that's what Chime does to serve my business, is every single day I know what's going on. I look at who's been looking at different properties online. I see who's requested a showing. I see who I have to call today. I understand where my to-dos are. I can go back over there and read all the text messages on the side to see where the red dots are for anything that's been unanswered. I have vision through Chime. Chime allows me to understand where I'm going, what's up, what I have to do. And without, like I tell people when I coach them, I'm like, if you don't have a GPS to take you from San Diego to New York, you're not going to follow the North Star. Like, you don't know where you're going. You don't know
Right.
where the gas station is. You don't know what direction you're traveling in. You don't know where you're going to be sleeping if you haven't already pre-planned all of that.
Mhm.
Chime is a GPS, and there's no way you can achieve at a champion level if you
Mhm.
don't have a plan, if you don't have a routine, if you don't have transparency, if you don't have a vision, if you don't know what's coming up.
Mhm.
It's impossible. So
Mhm.
that's what Chime gives me.
And would you say that then in that instance that Chime is easier to use than some of the other programs that you've encountered? Perfect. Cool. Um, well, that's really all I got for you, Stephen. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you for the kind words. You mentioned you're coaching some folks now. Is that something, or are you still accepting clients for that at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I've
Cool.
been going through a beta, and I'm already 1 month in
Mhm.
to this beta program. And the first 2 weeks, I think, are the most critical because I've never seen another coaching platform where the first week is all designed around mindset. The second
Mhm.
week is all designed around limiting beliefs. So the first 2 weeks, we're literally tackling you before we get into your business. Because if we don't deal with you before we get into your business, you're going to keep repeating the same patterns, which are typically self sabotage, avoidance, all of those things.
Wow,
So,
that's huge.
yes. And
Where,
then, what's that?
somebody going to ask, where can people or how can people get in touch with you?
You can go to a couple different places. There's my coachingwithsteve.com website,
Okay.
or
mycoaching.com.
Coaching with Steve, or you can email me directly at Steven, Steven, at SD, like San Diego, SD sold by Steve, Steve.com. So Steven at SDsoldbysteve.com.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time this morning. I appreciate it, and go have a great weekend.
Always a pleasure, Andy. Thanks, man.
Oh, my pleasure.